Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Human Resources in History. This podcast aims to offer insights from 7,000 years of human history to help modern human resource practices. I'm your host, Jin. I'm an HR professional, and I love history. The script of this podcast is generated using AI, and it's based on our blog post which we published a few weeks ago under the same topic. This voice is a synthetic clone of my real voice, and it is generated using AI. Today, we're wrapping up our Enlightenment series with a deep dive into a fascinating thinker, Montesquieu. Specifically, we'll explore how his work, The Spirit of Laws, offers an unexpected but powerful parallel to HR operating models. Montesquieu didn't believe in a one-size-fits-all government system, and the same applies to HR practices. So let's break it down. How can history's political theories shape our approach to modern HR strategies? If you've been following our Enlightenment series, you'll remember that Montesquieu's ideas had a huge impact on the world. His thoughts on the separation of powers influenced the US Constitution, the French Revolution, and political systems worldwide. But he didn't just talk about separating government branches. He also examined different forms of government and their ideal conditions. According to Montesquieu, there are 4 types of government. The first type is Democratic Republic. In Democratic Republic, power belongs to the people, and its success depends on a strong sense of civic virtue. Citizens must actively participate in governance, prioritize the common good, and be well informed about public matters. This form of government works best in smaller societies where such engagement is practical. Montesquieu also believed that colder climates fostered qualities like diligence and equality, making people more inclined to contribute to democratic governance. Without civic virtue, however, democracy can deteriorate into chaos or corruption. The second type is Aristocratic Republic. In this system, power is concentrated in a select group of noble or elite citizens. While this may seem exclusive, Montesquieu argued that it could function effectively if the ruling class upheld a sense of responsibility and moral integrity. Aristocratic republics work well in mid-sized territories where decisions need to be made efficiently without requiring full public consensus. Unlike democratic republics, aristocracies can make more informed choices based on experience and expertise. However, if unchecked, an aristocracy can become an oppressive oligarchy, benefiting only the elite at the expense of the broader society. The third is monarchy. A monarchy centralizes power in a single ruler, but unlike despotism, it is constrained by laws and intermediary institutions like the nobility. Montesquieu saw honor as the guiding principle of monarchies. Nobles and subjects alike are motivated by reputation, duty, and privileges. Monarchies thrive in moderately sized territories where a clear social structure provides stability. However, they require a delicate balance. If the ruler becomes too absolute, the system risks sliding into despotism. If the nobility grows too powerful, it may erode the monarch's authority and lead to instability. Lastly, despotism. The most extreme form of government, despotism places absolute power in the hands of a single ruler who governs through fear and oppression. Unlike monarchies, despotisms have no legal or institutional checks to restrain the leader's power. Montesquieu associated despotic rule with warm climates, suggesting that environmental factors could make populations more passive and less resistant to tyranny. He viewed despotism as inherently unstable because it relies solely on fear to maintain order. When fear diminishes, chaos follows. So what does all this have to do with HR? Well, a lot, actually. Montesquieu's government structures are surprisingly similar to how organizations operate. Just like there isn't one perfect government for every country, there isn't one perfect HR operating model for every business. Companies have different sizes, industries, and cultures, all of which shape how HR should function. To give this some structure, we'll use McKinsey's HR operating models. These 5 models reflect how HR can deliver value based on the company's needs. First, Ulrich Model. This is an evolved version of the classic Ulrich Model, addressing its limitations by integrating execution responsibilities with HR business partners, HRBPs. Co-As are downsized and transformed into expert teams, focusing on strategic initiatives, while HRBPs take a more hands-on role in implementing HR strategies. A digital operations backbone supports these efforts, allowing for data-driven decision-making. This model is particularly suited for multinational organizations with stable business environments where agility is still needed, but within structured processes. The next one is Agile Model. Designed for businesses undergoing rapid change, the Agile Model restructures HR into small, cross-functional teams that can quickly respond to shifting priorities. HRBPs in this model focus on advising leadership, while specialized teams tackle key issues like data analytics, workforce planning, and diversity initiatives. Freed up resources are reallocated into agile pods that drive transformation projects. Companies adopting this model typically experience rapid growth or need to adjust to significant market disruptions. Third one is employee experience driven model, or EX driven model. The X driven model focuses on creating an engaging and fulfilling workplace by enhancing key moments that matter in an employee's journey. Instead of following traditional HR structures, this model integrates HR, IT, and operations to deliver seamless and personalized employee experiences. It prioritizes retention, satisfaction, and productivity by tailoring HR processes to employees' needs, making it ideal for companies competing for top talent in highly specialized fields. Fourth, leader-led model. This approach decentralizes HR functions by placing hiring, onboarding, and development responsibilities in the hands of line managers. HR plays a supporting role by providing tools, training, and policy guidance, but avoids micromanaging. Companies that struggle with slow HR response times and excessive oversight often turn to this model, particularly those with a high share of knowledge workers or research-driven teams where managers understand their talent needs better than HR. Lastly, machine-powered model. This cutting-edge model leverages AI and automation to handle repetitive HR tasks like recruitment screening, performance assessments, and predictive analytics for employee retention. By automating administrative burdens, HR professionals can focus on strategic decision-making and providing counsel. This model is ideal for organizations with a high volume of HR transactions or those investing heavily in digital transformation to improve efficiency and accuracy. Each model has strengths, but if you apply the wrong best practices to the wrong model, things can fall apart. Let's go through some examples. Let's imagine a global software company. They adopted a new strategy to maximize employee experience by mirroring its customer experience approach. The company identified key moments that matter in the employee journey and implemented data-driven, persona-based HR services. Product owners took full responsibility for HR concept, design, and delivery, ensuring a seamless experience. However, companies applying an agile model must strike a balance, as excessive focus on employee feedback could slow down rapid decision making. Another example, imagine a multinational firm with a high share of research and development professionals. They transition to a leader-led model by decentralizing HR responsibilities to line managers. Managers were provided with HR tools and back-office support to make talent acquisition and development decisions. However, in companies with an Ulrich Model, where HR business partners are deeply integrated into strategy execution, such decentralization might create friction and slow down core HR initiatives. One last example. Let's say there's a global financial institution undergoing an agile transformation. They reduced traditional HR silos and reorganized the HR function along the employee lifecycle. Instead of relying solely on HR managers with deep business acumen, they integrated HR into agile pods working closely with business units. In contrast, organizations with highly technical workforces, such as research institutions, may find it impractical to expect HR managers to fully grasp complex business requirements. Instead, shifting core HR functions to managers while keeping HR administrative support centralized can be a better fit for certain environments. And these examples all point to one key lesson. HR needs to be aligned with the company's structure and strategy. Implementing a best practice just because it worked elsewhere can actually harm your HR operations if it doesn't fit your business model. What works for Google might not work for a government agency. What works for a startup might not work for a multinational corporation. So, HR leaders, take a step back, analyze your organization. What are your business priorities? What are your company's challenges? What's your HR team's role in delivering value? Once you figure that out, you can tailor your HR model to fit your needs, just like Montesquieu suggested with government structures. And that's a wrap on today's episode and our Enlightenment series. We've seen how history's greatest thinkers still shape modern HR in unexpected ways. Montesquieu may not have had HR in mind when writing The Spirit of Laws, but his insights remind us that context matters. Before we go, if you found this episode insightful, make sure to subscribe to Human Resources in History. And if you want to dive deeper, check out our blog where this episode's script was originally published. Thanks for tuning in and see you next time.